So today we are going back to work on our Island Survival game. I don't really know how much you've seen since the last episode because I haven't checked and it feels like it's been a while. But I uploaded a few shorts the other day, um, attempting to make or trying to show you my attempt of what I was doing when I was trying to make a waterfall feature for the game. Um, it hasn't really gone that well. It didn't work out that much, but I haven't done anything since that, so we will go back into the game right now, as you can see, and this was my attempt to make a waterfall feature. So I tried to add like a little mountain area on one of the bigger islands, but it doesn't really look that good. So I believe that island over there is the one that our player will start the game on, and this island is the bigger main island that I was attempting to put like a raised mountainous area with some kind of waterfall feature, or waterfall. But I don't really like the look of it, and I don't really like the look of these rocks because they have just been scaled up massively. So they are, like you can see on the scale, this one I've scaled up 200 on the X and the Z axis, as well as 300 on the y-axis. So I don't like that I've done that, because they are, if you don't scale them up, they are very small. You can see that you can't even see them because they're so small unless you go right into it. So there it is. So that is something that we need to change. But this was my attempt. Even the water in here is not even that good because I just had to put like a plane and fill it with water. So we can simply just go and get rid of that because that looks terrible. I might keep that and just change the layout of it. But I'm going to delete all of those rocks because they look terrible. This one is over there. We'll leave that one there. Okay, so we'll go back to that now, but let's just go and delete this one. And then we'll come back to the waterfall later, but let's go back to our player, which is over here. So this was the island that we first started working on. You can see the different textures that I tried to add in some soil. We've got the beach around it with the lighter sand. Then I tried to add in some grass, but I don't like this grass because it kind of looks fake. Even though it is fake, it just looks like it's fake. It doesn't really match the trees, which look fake, but they look nice at least. And the sand, I haven't yet figured out what's going on, but you can see that the way we've painted on the sand or brushed on the sand, you can see like it doesn't really work properly because I don't really know why. I've used it before, but it didn't look like that, so I need to figure out why it's done this time, because you can see that it's at like straight lines and right angles. So we need to try and figure that out. But let's go play the game quick and see what else I've done. So if you saw, let's put this in here so it's bigger. We don't really want a mobile device. So this is what we have so far. We have our player that can roam around the island. I also uploaded a short where I think I worked on those palm trees, either those ones or those ones. I can't really remember. But I'm gonna start putting like bunches of I don't know if is it a bunch of palm trees or whatever it's called. But over the course of the game, I will slowly add in different trees just around the island. We also need to very much change the grass. I think I'm just going to we might actually go and get rid of that grass right now because it looks terrible. But here we've got a dead tree that has no leaves, which I don't think you can go in through. Yeah, so some of the trees, like this one, you can't go in, like you can't walk through, which is good. Some of them you can, like that one you can walk through. I can't remember which ones you can't walk through. So I think the ones that you can't walk through, like this one, I believe. Yeah, this one. You can walk through that one. I think it's these ones here as well. Probably this one. So that one. So you can see that some of the trees that you can walk through are all the trees, well, not some of them. All of the trees that you can walk through are or have been placed on the map using the terrain brush. and all of the trees that you can't walk through, which I think are all of these ones, the smaller ones, I had to place on the map. And the reason I've done that is because we will eventually try and implement a feature in the game where you can actually break down or cut down these trees, because the aim of the game is to try and survive on the island, hence the name Survival Island. So what you'll have to do is I think we'll start off the game with we'll implement an inventory for the player, and then we'll put in a few, like one or two tools so that you can actually chop down some trees in the island. Actually, we might add we'll try and add in like a plane, like a abandoned or like a crash landing site, and then make it seem that like you're the only survivor of that plane crash on the island, and then that will make more sense for where the tools came from. So I don't know, we'll think of something like that to implement into the game. So the objective of the game is to survive by trying to destroy like trees and stuff to try and build up a campsite. Having said that, I have no clue how to do that. I also don't know if I will be able to do it, but we're going to try. We might have to, because the reason why I'm doing this as well is to also, first of all, learn new things, but also I'm trying to learn how to use Blender and make 3D, are they objects or like game objects, to try and work with Unity and Blender as well to learn new things, so that we can also learn how to make our own assets. So every now and then, once I've started learning Blender, I will also upload some of those videos on how to, well, not how to, but like showing you the process of making a few weapons that we'll make in Blender hopefully one day. But today, let's go and jump into the terrain and try and get rid of this grass because it looks terrible. Another thing that we need to sort out is the skybox, because if we play the game, the skybox looks nice, but we really want it to not move that much because it's very, very fast. So we'll change that as well later on. But I want to try and get rid of all of this grass. In fact, I'm going to try and get rid of all of the grass. Yeah, so that works. Okay, so let's just go around the island like this and just get rid of all of it. And then I'm actually going to get rid of all of that dirt as well. So I don't really know if that's got rid of all of it. No, it hasn't. So we'll get rid of all of that. I think that should be fine. Just make sure there's nothing here. All right, so I think that's all of the grass. The next thing I want to do is get rid of all of that dirt. So where's our, where is it? Paint texture. Actually, we can just go and get rid of it by doing this. So get rid of it, make it all look like it's just all beach sand. So like that. Also, now that now that the trees have gone, we can actually see that all the grass has also gone, I think. So I'm just going to test now quickly and see. This is the one that we had, but it is making, if we undo that and go to our player, you can see that if we try and paint on that terrain, let's make our brush smaller. Where's our brush size? So if we make it smaller, you can see that I don't really know why it's that big, or why it looks square. I believe it has something to do with the grid of our world. But I mean, surely is our world that small or that big that it looks like squares? Smoothness, maybe. Okay, so that's clearly not it. I don't know, maybe we'll figure that out later. Maybe it's just the textures or something. Let's go and look on the asset store for other textures. We need some textures. Text, what is it? World, or let's go dirt. Need some dirt textures. We also want some free ones. We don't want to pay for anything. We've apparently purchased that one, so I think that's probably the one we've just used, maybe. Actually, we maybe could use that one. I mean, that one doesn't look that bad, to be fair. Let's try this one. We'll open this one up and then see if this is the one we have used in the previous videos. It will tell us, at least. What is it called? Hand-painted grass. So, okay, so we haven't used it, so we'll import it. We probably should have re-downloaded it first, but anyway. Let's cancel that. Re-download it, and then just so that we get the updated version, if there is any updates, there must be, because it said re-download. Yeah, so version 1.4 was released this year on the 23rd of January, so, and the original one was released on the 9th of September 2021, so there is an update. So we'll download that, and then we can try and paint some grass texture onto our island, because the painted texture will look better than the actual terrain generated grass leaves that we just had in the previous version, the one that we just deleted from our game. So let's import that, and then we can actually start working on getting our island to look good. So let's see, we'll just import everything, because sometimes when I don't import everything, things don't work. So if we don't want to use the demo scene, we can get rid of it. So I'm actually going to go to that demo scene right now. And look at what it looks like. So we'll save our current game scene. Let's go to the demo one and see what it looks like. So where is it? I was not expecting that. Okay, that's weird. So here's our footprints, and I would think that's snow. Okay, so these are all the different textures. Materials, texture layers. All right, so let's go to our different actual scene. And let's try and paint some of those on our beach and see what we get. So terrain, let us get rid of this one. Or let's go and get rid of that one, because we don't think we're going to need that one. But let's go to our paint texture, add a new layer. Add layer. Let's use one of these, grass lightened. Let's try this one. And let's try and paint that on. Okay, so that's a lot better. So you can see now that we can't see, it must have something to do with the texture that we used for that one. So I'm going to do this, and I'm just going to paint pretty much the entire island. We'll deal with the beach later on, like that. We'll leave that blank. The fact that I don't like the fact that this looks all the same. So we might have to try and make it a bit different. So to do that, let's get rid of our trees. We don't really need our trees at this point in time. So environment, trees, we'll get rid of these ones. We'll leave our palm trees because they're out of the way. And now let's go get rid of these main trees. So let's get rid of all of these because we don't really need them. Get rid of all of them. Well, we do need them, but not right now. Let's focus on getting the ground of our island looking better than what it is. So terrain, We need to add in another layer. Let's go for the dark one. And then this one will be something like that. Let's just add. Also, we'll change the size of our brush because that's way too big. Let's just add it randomly. Like this. The problem with this is, even though that they are different shades of green, the pattern is still the same. So that's pretty annoying. I believe it is. Let's just do this. We'll make that dark. Okay, so it's not that. I believe the one in the dark version is a lot bigger. So we could work with that for now. So let's just do this roughly. Make that like that. So I don't know, something like that. And then again the light one like that. And then let's add another one. Add layer. We'll add some dirt to it as well. Let's add this one. Something like that. Add another one, maybe. Nope. Not replace. Let's add another layer. Let's see what else they have. They also have some dead grass, so let's do some of that. It would be helpful if I selected the right one. So I'll add some dirt to it as well, so it looks like some of the areas are dead, kind of. Although I think this looks terrible. But anything will look better than the fake grass that we used in the previous one. We won't use that one, so let's get rid of that layer. We will also get rid of this layer because those are the ones we used previously and they didn't look good. So let's add in another one of these ones maybe. Let's try that one. Although we'll change the opacity of that one because we don't want it to be too much. Something like that maybe. We'll make it a little bit brown in that area in there. Maybe something like that. And then we'll get the dark one. Make the brush a bit bigger, but make the opacity a bit smaller. And then just do that, I guess. Okay, so now let's go work on the beach sand. So we want the entire beach to be sandy in most places. So we'll change the opacity to big, actually. Lower it down a little bit, like that. And just make sure that the sand around the beach, especially in places that we're not going to have any of the rocks, we want it to look like a beach. So we'll do that. Make sure that there's sand everywhere along the beach. But here are the very sharp edges. So if someone that's watching this actually knows how to fix that, please leave a comment below so I can learn something. Because you can see, if you can't see what I'm talking about, it's this like squared off between the two textures. Because it doesn't really look that good. But anyway, I'll leave that for now. Let's just focus on getting the sand. Right, so we want the palms to be on sand, so we'll do that. And then along here as well. Actually, we can probably increase the opacity a bit more, just so that it's quicker. Make this sandy as well. Make this all sandy. Around here. And then there. As well as there. Okay, so let's just go test that quickly. So, I mean, it looks slightly better, but it still looks terrible. But we're getting there. So you can see it's too big, like that. The grass is too big. Can you change the size of that? Let's try. Can we change edit terrain layer? Can we change that? Let's see, can we change this? I'm pretty sure you can change like the scale of it. Nope. I've done it with... I have done it before, but I can't remember how I did it. Input layer. That's what it looks like, but it's way too big. So we need to try and like scale it down a little bit so that it looks like real grass. So I'll go do that and figure out how to do that. But yeah, probably once I figured out how to do that, we will start working on like some rocky areas, because we don't want the entire island to be surrounded by beach. So maybe we can add some rocky areas to actually I'm going to add a rocky area to this corner here. And then maybe we'll start working on adding some trees into the middle, or even some rocks. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today's episode. So today was quite boring because we're just trying to get our island looking good. But once we've gotten our island to look decent, we will start actually working on implementing some features like an inventory, as well as letting our character try and like interact with trees and try and break them down and stuff like that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. So goodbye.